Hello everybody, this is my first time doing this, so forgive me if it's not too good or if it seems really amateurish. Like I said, it's my first time. Um, so I wanted to provide my thoughts on the Springfield Armory 4th Gen scope mount for the M1A rifle. I ordered it to be fitted on this M1A and decided to try to do it myself. Uh, the scope mount came in this nice little case. It looks like a small pistol case like you might get with a 380. And inside, what I didn't find, because originally it was hidden underneath the foam, I found the installation instructions. So one of the things that you'll figure out pretty quickly, even if you don't have the instructions, is that you're going to have to remove the stripper clip guide from your rifle. And it's not only dovetailed in there, but what I didn't realize at first was they use a pin that mates between this stripper clip guide and the rifle receiver. Since I did not have a 3/32 inch punch to be able to punch that pin out, I ended up doing it the brute force way and sheared off the pin that was in place, and then had to get that out. Turned out not to be too much trouble, but interesting. So then when it came time to install the scope mount, we had to put in a new adapter that slides into the dovetail where the stripper clip guide used to be, and the scope mount attaches in two places to the receiver. One is in a threaded hole that's already on the receiver, and then the other one is in the threaded hole that's provided in the mount that slides into that dovetail where the stripper clip guide used to be. Following the directions, it actually came back to me pretty quickly of how to break down the M1A after my time in the Navy. Wasn't too difficult to break down and remove the receiver and barrel from the stock. In this particular case, my trigger assembly was pretty resistant, because I guess the rifles that we dealt with when I was in the Navy had been broken down and cleaned and reassembled so many times that they pretty much just came apart in your hands. But this one was probably, maybe a handful of times that it had been broken down, or maybe less. Certainly it was the first time that I had done it, and I don't know if anybody else had done it before me. So the trigger assembly was a little bit tough to get out, but I got it. Got the barrel and the receiver separated from the stock with no problem, of course. It just slides right out. And then it came to be time to try to get that the dovetailed adapter to slide in. The adapter slides in just fine, but the pins that Springfield provided with it, apparently they're just a tiny hair of a bit larger than 3/32 of an inch, even though that's what they say they are. So I got the pin in place, and with the help of some hops number 9 to help lubricate things and get things rolling, with the help of a hammer and this nail punch, which happens to be a 3/32 inch nail punch. Thank God I had that in my toolbox. That came in very handy for being able to coax that pin down into the hole, and it goes into the hole in such a way that that it prevents the dovetail mount adapter from sliding back and forth. Let me see if I can give you a shot of that. So the hole is right there in the center of your screen. A little bit tough to see, but it's a tiny thing. Like I said, it's apparently 3/32 of an inch, and so they advise you to drive the pin in from the top and drive it down towards the bottom, and that worked out okay, using plenty of hops number 9 to lubricate and using this punch. What I recommend is finding some sort of an Allen wrench or something else that's 3/32 of an inch in diameter, and using that to make sure that you've got the dovetailed adapter lined up with the receiver so that the pin will go through. And you could end up with a situation where you're good left to right, but fore and aft you got a problem with the hole not lining up. And so it even says here in the instructions that you may have to use a triangular file to file down the adapter mount to try to get those dovetails to fit and allow the holes to line up better. So then once the pin was in place with some coaxing and some swearing and not so pretty language, the pin's in, the mount adapter's in place, it was pretty straightforward from that point. So I'm excited about having the scope mount on my M1A. Now I'm just waiting on the delivery of my scope, and once I get that and get it out to the range, I will let you know how that turns out. But I'm waiting on the Super Sniper scope from swfa.com. It was highly recommended to me, the 10x42, and if you get a chance and you got a rifle that needs a good scope for long range shooting, I certainly recommend you take a look at that one as a good choice. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.